Okay, guys, let's go. From now on, in the name of God, the compassionate, the merciful, let's go and start epidemiology, biostat today, the table that will be with us, the table which will be with us for the rest of the day. For the rest of the day is this beautiful 2x2 table. This beautiful 2x2 table, you cannot let it go. You cannot let it go, right? From now on, there is a 2x2 table for every single question that we do for the rest of the day. This 2x2 table will be with us. So get used to it, and whatever table that you were using in the past, just forget about it. Just forget about it. I learned it from amazing people, right? Amazing instructors, mainly one, and I'm just transferring the knowledge to you. 1, 2, 3. Today, sensitivity, specificity, positive predictive value, negative predictive value. In the afternoon, when we are studying case control, cohort, clinical trial, whatever, today we discuss will follow the same table. 1, 2, 3. If they give you any other table, you will switch it to this standard 2x2 table and follow what I tell you, nothing else. Today, there is no liberal democracy. Today is positive dictatorship. Whatever you do with your tables from now on, it will switch to this and only this one. Thank you so much. Ladies and gentlemen, in the afternoon, we'll have risk factor here. In the morning, we'll have a test here. In the morning, we have tests here. Test positive, test negative. Test positive, test negative. Test positive, test negative. Thank you so much. In the afternoon, risk factor positive, risk factor negative. Is smoking, non-smoking. Radiation exposure, no radiation exposure. In the rows, what about the columns? Always and always and always. Disease, no disease. Stomach cancer, no stomach cancer. Osteoporosis, no osteoporosis. Lung cancer, no lung cancer. Endometriosis, no endometriosis. Do not write down disease positive, disease negative. I will check your notes one by one today. I told you today is not a liberal democracy day. Okay? I'm a big fan of liberal democracy, but today is positive dictatorship. So disease, no disease, go to your columns. The number one part of our contract, whatever they give you, and the beginning of the question, whatever you want to do, 2x2 standard table, test positive, test negative, test positive, test negative, disease, no disease. Clear? So we have a row, and we have one row here, and we have columns here and columns here. Now, we have a contract. Truth stays at the top of everything. It's a deep philosophical point today. Truth, true, always at the top. True goes always to the top. What does it mean? What is my top square? Top square, top square. True positive, true positive, true positive. Top square. What is that? Somebody who is a smoker and who has lung cancer? Top priority, risk factor positive or test positive and disease, having the disease. That's my top priority. And true always goes to the top in all the epidemiologic formula, or 99% of them. Truthfulness and true goes to the top. Okay? Now the rest of the table is easy breezy, right? These guys are positive tests, aren't they? The first row are positive tests. Guys, if you don't get the first portion of the day, for the whole day we'll have problems. That's why I'm slowing down a little bit in the beginning. It will not be the same pace after I am done with this table. But this is a game changer for of the day. So I have to be a little bit actually slow pace right now. As you can see here, true goes at the top, right? And these are my positive tests, aren't they? So if this guy is positive and true, this guy should be false positive. The rest of the table is easy breezy. What is the least important square of my 2x2 table? What is the crappiest source for this exam? Toronto notes? TN, I hope that they don't actually sue me. TN, Toronto notes, TN, right? So you can see here, negative and no disease. Negative and no disease is my actually lowest priority. Somebody who is not a smoker and not having lung cancer. Okay, so negative and not having lung cancer is the least priority, lowest priority for me. You can see here, TN comes here, right? True negative. If all these guys are negative and this is true negative, then it should be false negative. Everybody's clear with this part? Everybody's fine with this, the first portion? Any questions so far? Guys, we need it for the rest of the day. That's why I'm checking on you. Two by two table will be with us for the rest of the day. So we cannot let it go, okay? So true goes at the top. This is my top priority. This is my lowest priority. The rest of the table is a piece of cake. This is true positive. This is positive. So if this is true, this should be false. This is my true negative, right? It's not top. That's why it is here. It's ton, not top. Top is here. The least important part of my 2x2 table is somebody who is test negative or risk factor negative and not having the disease. Healthy and test negative, healthy and no risk factor, no disease and no risk factor, no disease and test negative, Toronto notes here, right? The rest of the table is easy breezy. True positive, this is false positive. True negative, this is false negative, okay? It does not change question by question. Every single question that they put in front of us, it should turn into this 2x2 table. Even if they give you the table, that most of the time that table is not standard table. You have to change it. So all of you who still memorize AD over BC for odds ratio, first of all, check whether your table is a standard table or you have to switch it to something else. Thank you so much. Ladies and gentlemen, total of the rows and total of the rows, total of the first row is TP plus FP, true positive plus false positive. Second row, false negative plus true negative. Okay. Now I will go with the total of the columns, true positive and false negative, false positive and true negative. What comes here? Your total, true positive, false negative, true negative. What about here? The same thing. So when you make your table and you want to check whether your table, is it correct table that you made or not correct? Is it correct or incorrect? Is it actually standard or not a standard? How can you check yourself? Check the total of the columns and the rows. Sorry, check the total of the columns and the rows. it should give you the same number. It should give you the same number. That's the magic. That's the magic. Then sensitivity. Ladies and gentlemen, sensitivity is very easy. Sensitivity of a test. Do you agree that diseased people are a little bit sensitive? If I have flu, if I have cold, I might be a little bit sensitive as well. Do you agree that diseased people are a little bit sensitive? Do you agree that diseased people are a little bit sensitive? You didn't get the total? The total, Dr. Parambrit, the total here and the total here should give you the same number. The total of the rows and the total of the columns should give you the same number here. If you want to check whether your table is actually fully developed or correctly developed or not. Got it? Dr. P, you got it? Okay, good, good. So guys, diseased people are a little bit sensitive. Diseased people are a little bit sensitive, right? Sensitivity is looking at the diseased people. Sensitivity is looking at the diseased people. Sensitivity is disease detection. Sensitivity, بیماریابی. Sensitivity, disease detection. I translated right away. It was Farsi, right? So sensitivity is disease detection. Where are the diseased people? Here or here? Where are the diseased people? Here or here or here? My diseased people are here. My diseased people are sitting in my first column. My diseased people are sitting in my diseased column. So sensitivity is disease detection. Is detected disease over all the diseased people? Detected disease, sensitivity, guys, is disease detection. So it's detected disease over all the diseased people. Do you remember I told you that true goes at the top? True goes at the top. Where is the true top? At the top of my fraction. True goes at the top, ladies and gentlemen. True always goes to the top, ladies and gentlemen, right? So it's TP over all the diseased people. It's TP over TP plus FN. Detected disease over all the diseased people. Let's put it here. 80 people positive test and having the disease, 40 people positive for the test but not having the disease, 20 people are test negative and they actually having the disease, right? And 60 people not having the disease and test negative. 80, 40, 20, 60. Dr. P, if I want to check whether my table is developed properly, 80 plus 40 is 120. 20 and 60 is 80. 120 and 80, 200. 80 and 20, 100. 40 and 60, 100. 100 and 100, 200. So the totals should give you the same number when you want to check, double check your table. 120 and 80, 200. 80, 100 and 100, 200. The same total. You reach to the same total, right? Based on this table, how much is the sensitivity of this test? Based on this table, how much is the sensitivity of this test? Everybody. Dr. J, percent. Don't forget percent. Beautiful. Beautiful. Beautiful, fantastic, right? 80 over 100, 80%. Ladies and gentlemen, what about specificity? What about specificity? Specificity is health detection. Sensitivity, disease people are a little bit sensitive. Specificity is looking for health, is health detection. Detected health over all the healthy people. Detected health over all the healthy people. Where is my specificity in the second column? Where is my specificity in the second column? Second column, second column, second column, second column, here. They're sitting here. Specificity is sitting in the second column of the table, 2x2 table, right? That's the specificity. That's the specificity. Where are my healthy people? No disease column, no disease column. Detected health over all the healthy people. Detected health over all the healthy people. Ladies and gentlemen, what was the philosophical rule that we started the day with? True goes at the top, true goes at the top. Which part of my second column is the true? Which part of my second column is the true, people? Which part of my second column are true, 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 true? Somebody said 40%. Look why you're wrong. Somebody said 40%. Look why you are wrong. You put false at the top. You put false at the top. Somebody put some false at the top, right? True goes at the top. What is the true part in this column? True negative. TN over all the healthy people. True goes at the top, always. Epidemiology, true goes at the top. False doesn't go to the top. False doesn't go to the top. This is false. You put 40 at the top. That's why you came up with the wrong answer, right? Detected health over all the healthy people. Toronto notes over Toronto notes plus false positive, 60%. That's health detection. That's health detection. Easy breezy, easy breezy, easy breezy. Easy breezy, easy breezy, easy breezy, ladies and gentlemen. Okay? Simple and easy. Are you ready? You're done with sensitivity and specificity. Did you know that? So from now on, when you're looking at sensitivity, do you need to look at the rest of the table? No, I just need my first column. Really? Just with the first column? The second part is burnt. That somebody burnt my piece of paper. I only see the first column. Oh my God, how can I calculate sensitivity? You don't need the second part. You don't need these parts. The only first column is enough for calculating sensitivity. Oh my God, there was a naughty kid that burnt my paper, piece of paper that I had my calculations on and my table on. Some part of the right side of my paper, some part of the left side of my paper is burnt. I only see the middle, I only see here. Enough for actually calculating specificity. Enough for calculating specificity. I only see the healthy column. That's enough for the specificity. Everybody's okay with sense and spec? Because I want to go for positive predictive value, negative predictive value. Everybody's okay with this part? Because I am done with this part. Sense and spec, easy breezy, ready for the next part. Ladies and gentlemen, do you know that what the hell predictive value is? Positive predictive value and negative predictive value. Imagine that you're sitting in your office instead of actually sitting in front of your computers and doing the course today. You are sitting in your office and you want to give some news to your patients. Mr. Smith, in your office, the colon biopsy, actually the biopsy of the polyp, that you got from the colon of the patient is there. Okay, there was a rectosigmoid polyp and the biopsy results, pathology results are back, and you want to actually share the news with the patient, right? No matter you share a good news or a bad news to the patient, what is their first reaction? Are you sure? Mr. Smith, I want to give you a good news. Fortunately, the results of your biopsy came back negative. You don't have cancer, yay! Are you sure? Or the opposite scenario. Nancy is in her office. The biopsy of the breast came back, pathology, showing, for example, ductal carcinoma. Nancy, I have a good news and a bad news for you. I have a bad news and a good news for you, right? The bad news is your result came back positive, and it seems that you have some carcinoma in your breast. The good news is we have fantastic modalities, fantastic treatment options for you, right? Well, the first part, you said your biopsy results show some cancer. What is the reaction of the patient? Are you sure? No matter, you come up with the good news or bad news to the patient will ask you a question. Are you sure? The answer to that question is the positive or negative predictive value. The answer to the question of the patient, are you sure, is predictive value. Means how sure you are about a positive test. It's positive predictive value. How sure you are about a negative test. It's a negative predictive value. If you're talking about a positive test, the answer to the patient, are you sure, is positive predictive value. If you're coming up with a negative result, the answer to the question of the patient, are you sure, is negative predictive value. Interesting. The same 2x2 table. Test positive, test negative, test positive, test negative. Disease here and no disease here. And the totals, the same table. 80 and 40, 20 and 60, 120, 80 and 100, 100. It's 120, 80, 200, 100 and 100, 200. So it seems my table is fine, is okay. Ladies and gentlemen, we talked about sensitivity and specificity, and we said sense is the first column. We talked about the spec, and we said the spec is the second column. Now we are talking about the rows of this table. Predictive value, positive or negative, you look at the row of this table, rows of this table, right? Ladies and gentlemen, what is a positive predictive value? Look at my first row. And true goes to the top. What do I have in my first row? I have TP and FP. What goes to the top? True goes to the top. True positive over all the positive results. True positive over all the positive results will give you positive predictive value. How sure you are about a positive test is positive predictive value. Negative predictive value, look at the second row. What is the true part in the second row? What is the true part in the second row? Tn. So Tn over all the negatives. Dr. Param, I will, sorry, Dr. Saran, I will repeat. Okay, no worries, I will repeat. So negative predictive value is true negatives over all the negatives. Negative predictive value, look at the negative tests. Positive predictive value, look at the positive tests. Where are the positive tests sitting? First row. Where are the negative tests sitting? Second row. The top row and the bottom row. What is negative predictive value? True goes at the top. True negative over all the negatives. Tn over all the negatives. Tn plus Fn. Ladies and gentlemen, true goes at the top. Positive predictive value, look at the positive row, and negative predictive value, look at the negative row. Where is the true parts in the positive row? TP. All the positives are here. What is the true part in the negatives? Tn. Where are all the negative results? Fn plus Tn. That's positive and negative predictive value. Positive and negative predictive value is the answer to the patient's question. Are you sure? How sure you are about a positive test, it's called positive predictive value. How sure you are about a negative test, it's called negative predictive value. Positive predictive value starts with a positive test. Positive predictive value. Negative predictive value starts with a negative test. Negative predictive value. TP over all the positives is positive predictive value. Tn, the true parts, over all the negative results is negative predictive value. Colonel and all the other doctors, how much is the positive predictive value? The same numbers. How much is the positive predictive value and negative predictive value of this test? How much is the positive predictive value and negative predictive value of this test? Dr. T, solve it and you will see the answer. When I put the chat box here, it doesn't cover your screen, right? Dr. Taran, clear now? Dr. Taran, is it clear now? You didn't get, are you sure? When you actually give a good news or a bad news to a patient, Dr. T, right? Whenever you give a good news or bad news to a patient, usually their first reaction is, are you sure? Mr. Smith, your actually results for colon biopsy came back negative for cancer. Are you sure? Mr. Smith, Mrs. Smith, Nancy, I have to tell you that unfortunately, there actually biopsy results for your breast cancer came back positive for cancer. Oh my God, are you sure? The answer to are you sure question of the patient is predictive value. Okay? So if it is about a positive test, that's called positive predictive value. If it is about a negative test, this is called negative predictive value. Is that clear? How sure you are about a positive test is called positive predictive value. How sure you are about a negative test is a negative predictive value. Okay? So ladies and gentlemen, as most of you answered, positive predictive value is true positive over all the positives. 80 over 120. 80 over 120 is 2 over 3. Is 66.6.6.6 devil's number, 666, right? 67%. And the negative predictive value is true negative over all the negatives. 60 over 80, which is 3 out of 4, which is 75%. 75%. Okay.